Welcome back to our lesson of UI and UX. In this lesson, we are going to learn about wireframe and also low fidelity and high fidelity. Well, two of them are totally different things, even though both of them are quite the same. Well, both of them are visual representation of a specific UX of a software or a website. So, let's start off by knowing what a wireframe is. A wireframe is a visual representation or a skeletal outline of a web page, application, or user interface design. It is low-fidelity presentation that focuses on the structure, layout, and functionality of the design rather than the visual aesthetics. Wireframes are created during the early stages of the design process to define and communicate the basic structure and elements of a design product or a digital product. They serve as a blueprint or a visual guide that help designers develop and stakeholders understand the overall layout and flow of the interface. Wireframes are often used to discuss and iterate on the design concept before investing time and resources in creating high-fidelity design or prototypes. So the key characteristics of wireframes or like wireframes are structure, functionality, simplicity, and literacy or iteration. Okay, so wireframes can be used creating various tools, which is such as this software, which is Adobe XD. You can also use Figma, Sketch, Balsamiq, Xure, or even with pen and paper. Well, that's like totally up to you. But among them, there are two types of wireframes: low fidelity and high fidelity. So the low fidelity wireframes are those type of frames or those type of wireframes, which are also known as lo-fi wireframes, which are basic, simplified presentation or representation of a design concept. They focus on the overall layout, structure, and functionality of the interface without including interactive visual details. And here are some characteristics of low fidelity wireframes. First I'm going to do is open up a low fidelity wireframe and then show you how it basically is. So I'm going to click on open, and I'm going to do is open up the folder where I have my wireframe, and here I have it. I'm going to do is open it up over here. Now you will see in a couple of minutes this will open up in my Adobe XD. So this is basically what a low fidelity wireframe is like. As you can see from here that it is like the basic structure, okay? We have like nothing hi-fi, okay? We have all of the structure and basic structure where we can apply all of our content and see how it basically is. As you can see that we don't have that much visual representation and that much edits on a specific, specific slide, or let's say a specific page. As you can see, this is title, and all of those we have character, styles, and all of them are just basics. You can see from over here too, we don't have like a lot of graphics and a lot of content over here, but all of them are just maintaining the structure of a specific task flow and a specific like structure and the geography of where we can edit in our graphics. Now let's learn about high fidelity wireframes. High fidelity wireframes, also known as hi-fi wireframes, are more detailed and visually refined representation of a design concept. They aim to closely resemble the final product's look and feel, provide a more realistic depiction of the user's interface. Here are some characteristics of high-fidelity wireframes. First off, let me open up and let me give you the characteristics. First I'm going to do is click on File. I'm going to do is open up another one. Let's say I'm going to click on Your Files on your computer, and I'm going to open up this one. And you will see it will also open in a couple of minutes. I'm going to press on OK. Now you can see that this has opened up over here, okay? So you can see that it has a lot more graphics than it did on the previous one, which is right over here. I'm going to show it to you again. You can see this is the basic structure, while over here we have a lot of graphics. We have a lot of, text edits and all of those over here. So when a site is actually done and when it is like actually uploaded online, okay, that is basically high fidelity most of the time, because most people do not use low fidelity or lo-fi wireframes online and running their websites. Okay, because obviously every user or every manager and every person wants like more people to actually like get in their site, use it. Okay, so obviously you're gonna need a lot of attraction. Okay, and that is basically what high fidelity wireframes are gonna help you with. Okay, you can see that we have graphics, we have edits, we have a lot of, you know, UX and UIs, which is like totally different. And from there we have a couple of, you know, different links, and we have a couple of these options. Okay, so that is basically the difference of, you know, high fidelity wireframe and also the low fidelity wireframes. So now, as you know, both of them, so high fidelity wireframes are typically used in the later stages of the design process. Okay, so that means you are going to start off with low fidelity ones, get the structure, get the basics, and then what you're going to do at the end result, then you're going to do the high fidelity wireframes, which are going to be used later on. And the process when the overall structure and functionality has been validated, and the focus shifts to refining the visual aesthetics and fine-tuning the user experience. Both low fidelity and high fidelity wireframes serve different purposes throughout the design process, offering different levels of detail and visual representation. Designers can choose the appropriate fidelity based on the stage of the project, the communication need, and the level of detail required at the particular time. So I'm going to suggest you that start off with the basics, which is going to be low fidelity ones, just like this over here. Okay, get the structure, get the basics and all of those. And then at the end, when you get all of your, you know, resources put in your site or whatever your UI is, then you are going to start editing contents or start editing, you know, more, let's say, graphics and attraction. Okay, so that people can actually, you know, get into your site and then find it to be attractive. Okay, so most of the websites that are formed by now, obviously those are high fidelity ones because they've put in all of the graphics and also the basic structures too. So hope you understood everything about this lesson on high fidelity and also low fidelity, and both of them are very important before starting UI and UX. So let's move on to the next lesson. Well, there are a couple of websites where you will be able to download low fidelity and high fidelity wireframes at the same time. First website is going to be justinmind.com. You will be able to find it, Just in Mind. You can see that this is a website. You can go over the free resources and wireframing, free wireframing tools. You'll be able to download it and also use all of its, you know, functionality. You can also go over the examples and actually get whichever one you want. That's like totally up to you. Make sure to download the specific files. If you're using XD, then make sure to download the XD files. And if you're using Figma and also Sketch and all of those, find out those ones because those extensions will be totally different and will not work when you apply it on a different extension on a different software. Then we also have UI Store, which is going to be uistore.com or uistore.design. That is also a good software or a good website where you will be able to download those type of, you know, extensions and all of those wireframes. But one thing is that it's going to contain a lot of ads, but you will get your specific type of wireframes whenever you want. And then there are also a couple of websites, let's say UI8. UI8 you will be able to download over from here too. Well, one of the advantage of downloading, you know, UIs or like, let's say, wireframes from here is that you are going to get quality and also premium contents from over here, because obviously you will be able to see that there is like, you know, a specific charge for each and every one, but you are also going to find free ones, which is also given over here. You just have to search for it a bit. But if you want like premium and also like, you know, quality content and also quality products, you might want to like try this website out, because I've like downloaded and like paid a couple of, you know, couple of money for these specific, you know, let's say couple of UIs, UI kits and all of those, and I've got like, I can say that I'm satisfied with it. Okay, so make sure to use these couple of websites where you will be able to download wireframes online and also use it for your specific software so that you can do your work over there. So thank you for watching this video.